respected Dr. Vandana Arora ma'am, Chief Strategy Officer, Lloyd's Group of Institutions, eminent guest speaker, Dr. Hala Faisal, Head of the Economics Department, Lebanese University, participants of the FDP, and faculty members, a very good afternoon to all of you. And a good morning to Dr. Hala Faisal, since in Lebanon it is morning right now. I, Dr. Femina, on behalf of Lloyd Business School, welcome you all for 7 days faculty development program on Research Methodology 2.0. Lloyd Business School takes pride in building a research culture by organizing faculty development programs from time to time. An initiative of the FDP series on research methodology consisting of 3 modules, FDP 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, was started with the first FDP titled Research Methodology 1.0 conducted in May 2021. It focused on defining the research problem, formulating hypotheses, understanding research design, sampling, and methods of data collection. The current FDP, Research Methodology 2.0, would take the participants to the next level of research and its implementation, which will benefit in carrying out high-quality research in the field of business management. I would also like to introduce Lloyd Business School. Lloyd Business School was established in 2004 in Greater Noida area under the kind aegis of Mr. Manohar Therani, Sir, President of Lloyd Group of Institutions. Lloyd Business School is a privately endowed co-educational modern-day frontline B school approved by AICTE Ministry of HRD, Government of India. The guiding philosophy of Lloyd Business School is to integrate theoretical knowledge with practical application for creating highly skilled and employable management professionals. Following the mentioned idea and owing to the educational needs of the world, Lloyd Business School runs a 2-year full-time postgraduate diploma of management, which is approved by AICTE Ministry of HRD, Government of India. I would also like to introduce Dr. Vandana Arora ma'am, who is currently working at Lloyd Group of Institutions, Greater Noida, as Chief Strategy Officer. Ma'am is a gold medalist from Delhi University with work experience of more than 16 years, including industrial experience at organizations like Ranbaxy, Research Laboratories, Gurgaon, and at Smart Analyst Incorporation, Gurgaon. She has a track record of achieving results consistently and has received several recognitions and team excellence appreciation awards from various organizations. Her enthusiastic approach to developing a research culture for faculty members as well as the students at Lloyd is really commendable. May I now request ma'am to kindly address the participants.
Thank you, Dr. Femina. It is such a pleasure to see my research team organizing this faculty development program, which is of 7-day duration. Though it is online and it doesn't give the same vibration as probably a physical FDP would have done, but it is such a pleasure, and thanks to all of you, the team so ably led by Dr. Femina, who's our Director Research, and our co-conveners for the program, Dr. Ruchi, Dr. Vandana Parikh, and Dr. Mehendi sir, Dr. Imad sir, and Neha madam, along with their team further down, who has helped organize this FDP. So many congratulations to you and much appreciation for the entire team. Also, I take pleasure in welcoming Dr. Hala, who is our speaker for day 1. Dr. Hala Faisal, most welcome to you on Lloyd's online platform. And I hope that this is the beginning of a bigger association between Lloyd and your university. Also, it's such a pleasure to have spent this Monday morning with you. It's morning, like ma'am said, in your country. So many thanks to you for honoring us and spending your Monday morning doing this FDP for us. Let's connect offline also after this and see how we can take this collaboration and association further. Also, during this FDP, we are going to be witnessing more lectures by, as I'm told, Dr. Masood Siddiqui sir, Dr. Saurabh Agarwal, and Dr. Raja from Bangalore. And all of these people come from very acclaimed universities and have made a mark for themselves in research and research methodology. The topic is so well chosen, by the research team, because that is actually the demand of the day. We don't have to actually only learn research the traditional way, but we also need to learn the tools for doing the research right, because technology and automation can actually ease our way and our process so much and give analysis in ways more than one. It can help us in analyzing a situation or a problem or, the research in such a way that has been unthought of for. In fact, yesterday I was reading about industry analysis, which is a part of research analysis and methodology of an airline called Southwest. And it was such a, it was such an extensive literature search that was done on Southwest. And there's a very beautiful paper written in Harvard Business School about how Southwest Airlines grew to where it is today. And the kind of analysis that went into it, step by step, how they started, how Southwest Airlines started by operating in areas where no other airline was operating in the United States. And, how it increased the number of flights, how even a minute, which was reduced while taking off, while cleaning up, like one flight has come and another flight has to take off in the same aircraft, how even a minute saved at that time could actually increase the number of flights that the airlines could cater to, and that increased the profitability of the airlines. So that very extensive analysis was done because of the analytical tools, which are present since of late now, rather. They have been present since a couple of years now, but now more and more researchers want to learn about Python and SPSS and various analytical tools that can simplify their process, at the same time give an analysis which is more, which is better in quality as well as quantitatively as well. So it's a wonderful topic that we are going to be talking about, and that's the reason why we've been able to get faculty registrations from close to 137 participants, including a couple of participants for this FDP who are joining us from outside India as well, as I'm told. And we've got participants from India, from Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Varanasi, and the entire UP, in fact, Prayagraj, Lucknow, Kanpur, Greater Noida, a lot of colleges. So many thanks to all of you for joining us. And also from Lebanon, we have got participants from Manchester University, UK, amongst other participants nationally and internationally. So it is a pleasure hosting you on this online platform. And we hope we are able to do FDP on Research Methodology 3.0 physically in our campus as well. With this, many thanks to Dr. Hala for being present on this inaugural day of our FDP, and a very, very warm welcome to everybody else as well present on this online platform. Thank you very much. Looking forward.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vandana Arora Sethi, ma'am, our Chief Strategy Officer, for giving an insightful welcome address to the participants today, and our guest, Dr. Hala. I would like to take the participants towards the important guidelines for the faculty development program we are holding today. Participants must enter their first and last name for the purpose of e-certificates and attendance. All the participants are requested not to ask questions during the session. There is a dedicated 10-minute slot after each session. So in case your questions are not addressed in a given time, you can always mail it to us. The prerequisites for the FDP, as already communicated, is that you should have SPSS software installed. Each participant is required to finish a short quiz, which is given at the end of the session today. E-certificates shall be issued after the FDP is completed to the participants who submit their quizzes within the stipulated time of 15 minutes after the session of our guests. E-certificates shall be issued after the FDP is completed, and the feedback form is duly filled in, which will again be shared with all the participants once the FDP session is over. There is also going to be a group picture at the end, so please turn on your videos after that. I would also like to introduce you to the program schedule of these 7 days. We have our first session today by Dr. Hala Faisal on Introduction to the Software SPSS. And then on 6th and 7th of December, we have Dr. Masood Siddiqui, who will be talking about bivariate analysis using SPSS. Then on 8th and 9th, we have multivariate analysis using Open Software R by Dr. Saurabh Agarwal, sir, who is from IIT Kanpur. And then on 12th and 13th, we have a session on meta-analysis and bibliometric analysis by Dr. Raja Sankaran, sir. So this is the program schedule I wanted to share with all of you. I would also like to introduce to all the participants our eminent guest today, Professor Dr. Hala Faisal, who is the head of the economics department at the Lebanese University and a senior economics lecturer with over 10 years of professional academic experience at leading Lebanese academic institutions, mentoring around 10,000 students from various social and cultural backgrounds. She is also a tokenomics expert, helping token projects with the design of their token issuance to maximize network usage and growth. Also, a senior researcher in the field of Web3, tokenomics, DeFi, NFTs, DAOs, and the metaverse. Dr. Faisal joined NEAR University as a teacher in residence, introducing the concepts of blockchain economics to the audience with near blockchain examples. On behalf of Lloyd Group of Institutions, I welcome Dr. Hala Faisal for the first day of Faculty Development Program on Research Methodology 2.0. Without much ado, I request her to begin the session on SPSS software. Over to you, Dr. Hala Faisal.
Thank you, Dr. Femina. So good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, basically. So this is Dr. Hala Faisal. Again, I'm the head of economics department at the Lebanese University. I'm an economics expert with a PhD degree in international economics from INSEC, France. I have been lecturing economics and statistics courses for more than 10 years. And today we're going to explain an introduction to SPSS software session as day 1 of Research Methodology 2.0 series of sessions, starting December 5th till December 13th with a Lloyd Business School research cell. So this 7-day faculty program shall introduce you to everything you need in research methodology. And first, let me thank Dr. Ruchi Garg and Dr. Femina Khalid for their professional coordination and collaboration. And let me welcome each and every one of you. You're mostly welcome. And for any questions, please let's address all questions at the end of this session. So let's start with introducing you to SPS software. And I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. You can see my screen now, right? Okay. So first of all, let me elaborate on what was Dr. Vandana talking about, the importance of research. You know, we are basically evolving and the future is coming and sooner than you think. So we definitely need extensive research capabilities to be acquired by all of these researchers all over the world, regardless of your topic. Technologies are evolving, including the artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, blockchain technologies, cryptocurrencies, cybersecurity, and all of these technologies. So you definitely need these to acquire research tools and skills in order to be able to move forward with all of these research topics. So that's why we need to have the basic or the initial skills of the SPSS software. So if I want to start with SPSS, SPSS is the statistical package for the social sciences. SPSS, it is also known as IBM SPSS Statistics. It is a software package used for the analysis of statistical data. So in this session, I'm going to introduce things to you as easy as possible. My aim is not to complicate things on you. However, my aim is to move forward step by step on how to use SPSS and get the most benefit out of it. So please, I recommend that each and every one of you have their own SPSS installed on your laptop. If no, it's okay, because at a later stage, I will be sending you the SPSS manual on how to work on SPSS. Maybe you just give your emails to Dr. Femina, or we'll talk about this later. But all of these people who currently do not have the SPSS on their laptops, it's okay. But it's better to practice with me now, because you will be able to acquire these skills faster. So again, the software package, the SPSS software package, was created in 1968 by SPSS Inc. And it was acquired by IBM in 2009, because lots of you ask also, how did it start? So while the software was renamed to IBM SPSS Statistics, it is commonly referred to as SPSS. So although the name of SPSS refers to its first application in the social sciences, it has been used in other data markets. Research in the fields of healthcare, marketing, and education frequently use SPSS, and not only in the business school. So, advantages of using SPSS. So you will be asking, okay, so why do I need to learn SPSS? What's the advantages of using SPSS? First of all, it offers reliable and fast answers, and it's a dynamic and has useful tables and graphs. So by out of thin air, just out of a click, you will be able to produce useful tables and graphs that are easy to read, and it offers a wide variety of languages. A lot of people can access. So it also offers effective data management, and it does not require a lot of effort to start using the software. You will see now. So it will save time and effort, and it performs a job in seconds that would basically require hours or days. So it is also useful for both quantitative and qualitative data. So the types of data analyzed using SPSS are widely varied. Common sources include survey results, organization customer databases, Google Analytics, because I know lots of you use Google Analytics, scientific research results, and server log files. SPSS also supports both analysis and modifications of many kinds of data and almost all formats of structured data. The software supports spreadsheets, plain text files, and relational databases such as SQL, SATA, and SAS, or the SAS. So SPSS provides data analysis for descriptive and bivariate statistics, numerical outcome predictions, and predictions for identifying groups. The software also provides the data transformation, graphing, and direct marketing features. The software also interface displays open data similarly to a spreadsheet in its main view, with its secondary variable view, as we're going to see now, and the metadata that describes the variables and data entries present in the data file are displayed. So I hear lots of people asking, okay, so what are the advantages of SPSS over Excel, for instance, because lots of you use Excel. So SPSS allows you to perform complex analytics, such as factor analysis, logistic regression, cluster analysis, and etc. In SPSS, every column is one variable. However, Excel does not treat columns and rows in that way. In treating volume and rows, SPSS is more similar to Access than to Excel. So let's start our presentation with, here are the advantages of using SPSS. As we already mentioned, the most important advantage is that it does not require a lot of effort. It's simply orders. You follow these orders and you can see the output. So let's start with part one. Basically, part 1 is very easy to see. It's basically the data entry on SPSS. Here we have two options. We might insert data manually, or we might go for importing an Excel sheet. Here we're gonna today try both to be covering all aspects of our session. So let's start with the data entry. I'm gonna open my SPSS software. As you can see, it's here. Okay, so this is the version 26. I hope all of you had downloaded this version because we actually need to implement the action. So first of all, we see this screen, and then you press here on a new data set. You might also have saved other files, but today we're gonna start with a new data set. Double click here, and you can see. Okay, let me start. And how can I hide this? Okay, so as you can see here, you can see this file. This is the main page of SPSS. And you can see here the data view. I hope you can follow me and see me. So here you can see the data view, and here there is the variable view. Okay, so it's made up of columns, name, type, width, decimals, etc. And it's made up of rows as well, from 1 till basically numbers, or here we have till 40 of numbers. So let's start basically to insert the data. So I will follow up with this manual that you will be able to have at a later stage. So don't worry, everything is written, everything is documented. You just have to focus and to learn the steps I'm focusing. So first of all, here we go. As you can see, we pressed on the new data set and then press OK, or even you can double click on the new data set. And then you see the data view and the variable view. Here they are. This is the data view. And here is the variable view. So coming back into the steps. Okay, so you will be probably asking me what's the difference between the data view and the variable view. The data view is the part of the SPSS where you can see data. It is the place to enter data. And in the columns, we will add the variables. However, in the rows, we will add the records. So coming back into our SPSS, so the data view, in the columns here, as you can see, we will enter the variables, and the rows will include the records. As for the variable view, it's the place to enter the variables. You will see here the list of variables, characteristics of variables, and many other things that are needed for our statistical survey. So here is the variable view. You will see everything related to variables: their name, their type, their width, the decimals, how many decimals after the point, etc. Label, the values, missing ones, the columns, etc. Okay. And whenever you do a command, or whenever any action you take SPSS, a small window will open, which is the output. You will see this form. It's named, as you can see here, output. It is a list of everything you will do on the SPSS. So here I've just opened a new file. So here it is recorded, a new file. I can name it, by the way, you can name it. It's according to your research, according to the topic you're about. You might name it by your own name, as you like. So after each action I do, a small window named output here will record my action, so that at the end of the things we'll do, see a list of actions. What have we done so far? So let's open the PDF file and start working. So here we differentiated between the data view and variable view. And here we can see what we've mentioned previously. These are the columns and these are the rows. The columns will include the variables, the rows will include cases, and make sure you've opened the data view, as you can see. So here we'll start to enter the variables. So I have written the steps how to write the variables. So first of all, you can click the variable view because you're entering the variables. So coming into the SPSS, you will click the variable view here and start entering the variables, the name of each variable, the type. It's according to your kind of or type of project. So click variable view, then type variable name. Let's say we're talking about the age. We'll give examples, by the way, don't worry. So if the variable is the age, for instance, so you type here the variable name as age. And the variable name might be, the first character might be a letter or one of the characters at or hashtag or dollar, etc. Coming into the type might be of three types. It might be numeric or string, a series, or any type or any other type, but these are the most common ones. You can see them lots on SPSS. Here I'm talking about the type. This one, the type. Okay, and number three is the label. The label is a description of the variable. So you might need to describe your variable, or you might need not to describe it, but usually it's better to describe your variable. This is if we are willing to enter the variables manually. So these are the enter cases. Whenever you enter, you can see here the age, the sex, the all other details you need to know, and labeling the variables. And what's easier than this way, we can go for importing data from Excel. This is an easier way because, you know, we need things to go faster. We are living fast moving technology. So basically most of the users of the SPSS, they're willing to import data from an already prepared Excel sheet. That's what we're going to do now. It's easier than to insert it manually. So part B, it's importing data from Excel to SPSS. The first step here is to close any other opened Excel file and just keep the Excel file you are willing to enter. So I've already prepared an Excel file for you. Let me minimize everything and open the Excel file. Okay. Hope everything is fine and clear and everyone is seeing what I'm doing. So basically, here's a previously prepared Excel file. I prepared some economics data because basically lots of research fields are done on economics topics. So here I have the series name. You can see the years from 1998 till 2014. It's a series of years. So the first variable I'm talking about is the GDP growth or annual percent. GDP for the people who are non-economists is the gross domestic product. It is the total production, the number of total production of a country, total product of goods and services produced in a country within a domestic framework. It is calculated annually. So it's measured. So the economy of a country is measured by its GDP, by its amount of production of goods and services, calculated annually. So we always have the figure, the GDP growth figures in annual numbers. So the GDP growth is measured here over the years from 1998 till 2014. I'm explaining this because you need to know the type of data or the type of research we're talking about. Again, this is only an example. You can do your own Excel sheet and your own research topic and your own variables as well. So the second one here is the unemployment secondary education. I mean the female, I mean here the percentage of female unemployment. So whenever I talk unemployment, I'm talking about unemployment in a country. I'm talking about the number of people unemployed. This means the number of people that are capable to work. They have the mental and physical abilities to work. I'm talking about people that are willing to work. And I'm talking about people that are searching for work, but actually they're not finding one. So whenever these three conditions satisfy, the people are considered unemployed. Okay, so and here I'm not just measuring the unemployment in general about a country. No, I'm measuring the percentage of female unemployment. So these are the numbers from 1998 till 2014. And here the same concept, but I'm talking about the percentage of male unemployment. So I'm measuring the percentage of male unemployment out of the total unemployment in a specific country. So again, this is my spreadsheet, Excel sheet. I'm gonna export these values, the variables here and the the records here into my SPSS folder. So again, I'm gonna open the PDF to follow the steps. So as you can see here, I've added the screenshot. I'm gonna let me, okay. So here you go to the file, open, you can see I've already written the steps. So open SPSS and follow the steps. You go to file, open, and then go for the data. Okay, let's go and implement this on SPSS. So file, open, and data. We should see this window. Let's go to the SPSS and do the file. See here, open, and then go for data. Okay. So you're not required to memorize all of these steps because you're going to be having the file to review for further information. So we can see here in open data. So you can see the list of folders in my desktop, and then you go to the files of type. You have to amend it to be an Excel file. This will make it easier for us to find the file. And now go to search for my Excel file. It's here, data extract from world development indicators. Okay, so I'm gonna click on it, and then it will be here. As you can see, its type is Excel, and press open. Okay, press open. And here we need to press OK. Okay. Hope you have just seen what is mentioned here. So here we have the data view. Whoa, now we can see the same Excel file, but our SPSS. Let me make this clearer. So here we can see the series name. Look, I'm in the data view first. Here we can see the series name from 1998 till 2014. We can see the GDP annual growth, the numbers. Here we can see the percentage of female unemployment, and we can see the percentage of male unemployment. Here we go to the variable view. We can see the variables, you know, here are the variable details. So we can see the name of the variables, the series name, you can see string. The series name is string. It's why the type of it is string, because it's a series of years, you know, remember it's from 1998 till 2014. So the type here will be recorded as string. However, the other ones, the GDP growth annual, the unemployment of female, and the unemployment of male is recorded as numeric. Here are the widths, the decimals, the label. The label is a further explanation. See, so here GDP growth, for instance, it's recorded annually. Here with the details of the unemployment of the female, and the same as the unemployment of the male. What we need to do here basically is to adjust the decimals. Let me follow up with you on my PDF. So here we uploaded the Excel file, extracted the Excel file. Okay, see here, notice that we have two sheets now, the data view and the variable view. In the variable view sheet, we need to adjust the decimals from 4 to 1. Why? Because it is easier for us to, it will be easier for us to move with low decimals. Let me see here what's going on. Okay, so let me take off this and keep only this one. Okay, so I will go here. I'm still in the variable view, as you can see, and I will go to the decimals. Okay, and just decrease the number till 0. See why I'm doing this? Let's go to the data view and see what happened to the decimals of the GDP growth annual. See? So it's only 4, 3, 4, 2. I removed all of these decimals because it's easier to interpret. If you want, you can keep it only 1 decimal, for instance, 2 decimals, like that. Okay, but I always look for facilitating things. No need to complicate things on you. So I will make them all 0. So here 0. And here 0 for the female unemployment and 0 for the male unemployment. So let's go and see them in the data view. This is much easier and much clearer for us to move forward. Okay, so I like to interpret data, make things more logical for me, because as you can see here, the numbers of the female unemployment are higher than the numbers of the male unemployment, because normally it's because in any economy in the world, the female has more stuff to do in terms of taking care of the children, pregnancy, marriage, etc. So as an overall number in all over the world, always basically until now, the unemployment numbers for females are higher than the employment numbers of males. So I like to interpret and to reference things into logical data, because we need to understand what's going on in the data from a logical perspective. Okay, so here we classified our data. We take off the decimals and let's move to the other steps. So as you can see here, adjust the decimals from 4 to 1, make sure the GDP and unemployment rates are numeric. As you can see here, we decreased from 4 till 0 or 1 if you wish. It's up to you. Here we make it 1. Okay. 3.6, 3.4, you can make it 1. It's up to you. And coming into part 2, very interesting things to do and to adjust on SPSS is the sorting, transforming, and saving data. Well, so far we have inserted an Excel file into our SPSS, or we can do it manually. Now it's time to work with, to dive deeper with data and work in more details. So here we have the part A. We're gonna first talk about sorting, then transforming, then saving the data on SPSS. Let's start with sorting data. So for instance, we are sorting data by the GDP growth. So we need to sort it. It might be from ascending to descending or from descending to ascending. It's up to you. Again, it's according to the type of the research you're working on. So let's go into the click the data, sort cases, and then double click. Let's go to our SPSS software. Can you see here the data? So basically data. And see how do we have lots of cases here. We have select cases, file, sort cases, etc. So according to our PDF, we have to click sort cases. So we go into the data and click sort cases here. Okay, double click on it and we can see the list of variables. Again, here we have the 4 variables: the series name, the GDP growth, unemployment female, unemployment male. Let's go for the GDP growth, for instance, and press this arrow. It will come to this part. It is sorted by GDP growth. So, you know, we are giving orders to the SPSS software in order to sort our data by GDP growth. See, so we're doing what we're doing is we're giving an order to this SPSS software to make it to abide by what we are going and what we are willing to do with our data. So the GDP growth annual is here, and we can choose ascending or descending. I usually prefer ascending from minimum to high. It's up to you, and then press OK. Before pressing OK, you can hear the values of the GDP growth. 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, etc. And the years are from 1998 till 2014. These years are basically ascending and an ascending values. We're now working on the GDP annual growth, and you can work on any other variable. I'm just giving an example. Again, I'm just giving an example because if I won't do so, you won't be able to understand how SPSS works. So coming into here and then add ascending or descending, we will be choosing ascending and press OK. Okay, before moving forward, can you see this output? This output folder, file, I mean, this output represents the list of things we're doing on SPSS. So here, if you remember, first we created a new file, then we exported the data from the Excel sheet, and here we're executing sort cases. See, sort case by growth annual. So this is a list or like a kind of historical perspective of what we are doing. So I'm just minimizing this. And we can see that the GDP growth annual is sorted from least value till highest value. See, from -3 till 4. So this is a good thing to know because we are able to sort our data with just a click on the right order on SPSS. Okay, we can also sort the unemployment for basically women, and the same thing goes for any variable. You might have, by the way, hundreds of variables you're doing your study on. You might have only 2 variables. It's not about the amount, it's about whenever you do an order, you can see your data sorted on SPSS. So sort cases, here are the steps. You can check if ascending or descending, and then you can transform it into another this window, and the transforming data, the sorting data is done. Coming into the part B, I've mentioned all the screenshots here so that you can keep them, you can save them for future use. Transforming data is adding a new variable. Okay, so you might want to add a new variable. Let's say, for instance, named Lin GDP. So see, we're just introducing some advanced variables. It's the logarithmic or the Lin GDP with the natural log of GDP growth annual. We need to add a new variable, so we have to follow these steps. We have to click, can you see it here? Click on transform and then compute variable. Let's go to SPSS and do this detail. So click on okay, I'm trying to remove this. Let me put it here. Okay, it will be much more easier for me because you need to see my this is much better. Okay. Okay, so let me move into the SPSS again, and we have to click here, transform. See, as the PDF listed, transform and then compute variable. You can see transform and compute variable. So we can see this window. So this window includes the target variable. And here we can see the list of variables. We so far have 4 variables and the numerical expressions. So what does that mean? Let me follow the steps for you. So here we have adding a new variable named Lin GDP. So we have to type this new variable in our windows. So I'm gonna be copy pasting it. So Lin GDP and type here Lin GDP. It's the name of our new variable. Okay. So, and then going into the following other steps in the target variable box, we have to type the new type of, so I'm gonna copy paste it. So Lin GDP growth annual. This is basically what we're doing is this is the numerical expression of our target variable. Again, it is mentioned here. It is the type len GDP with no spaces, by the way, no brackets, no any additional comment, no parentheses, no two dots, never. You have to type it just the type, the name of the variable. So it is the len GDP in the target, the variable box, and in the numerical expression, you have to mention the len GDP growth annual, and then click OK. So as you can see here, the len GDP, and we have to mention it's, as you can see, it's len, so basically it's arithmetic, and here it is len. So its expression is arithmetic, and then press OK. So these are the steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then press OK to give the order. Okay. This is again added to the output, the list of things we're doing. I'm gonna minimize it and see here the new variable created. You can see it. This is the new variable created. We will be able to see it here in both data view and variable view. But you know, whenever I press on the variable view, it will be much easier for me because I'm listing the variables here. So you can see len GDP, numeric, and all of these details. And even you can see it in the data view. Here it is, len GDP. Okay, so you can make sure of what happened after each command, after each order given to the SPSS. You can go and check the result of your action. Okay, so this is how we created the new variable, the len GDP. So here we can see the steps. I have mentioned already the steps for you. Again, transform, compute variable, type the name here, the numeric expression. It's len because it's in terms of logarithmic, and here are the screenshots I've mentioned for you. The last thing here in this part is saving the data. So you definitely need to save the data file you created, because you might have to come back to it, or you might have to stop working at this level. So you will be able to click on File and Save As. See, File, Save As. You can save the file in different forms by clicking the type. You always do this with any other document. So click on File, Save As. Okay, so let's name it introduction, any name to SPSS. You can name it whatever you want. I'm gonna save it on my desktop. Okay, you can save it anywhere and click on Save. See, so the type is SPSS statistics, and click on Save. So remember the steps. So File, Save, and click on the Save. Let's go and see it on the desktop. See, it's here. See, it's here. It's introduction to SPSS, so we can log into it anytime needed. Okay, so this is, I guess this has been easy so far, because you definitely need to do these steps, and I've already recorded them on a PDF so that you can access them anytime, because it will be hard a little bit on most of you to just memorize all of these things from the first step.